Number 1. Nikon D3500dx Format DSLR. The Nikon D3500 was launched in 2018 and even today, it's a popular camera among newbie photographers. We love it so much we rate it as one of the best. Nikon CMOS opens a new tab, and one of the best cameras for DIGIC and Mirrorless opens a new tab. That's because it features a handy guide shooting mode which acts as a tutorial and teaches the user how to use the camera via the LCD screen. The D3500 has a 24-megapixel sensor that's able to deliver super sharp images even with the 18 to 55mm kit lens, which is also pretty good. Although the rear screen is fixed and it can only shoot up to Full HD and not 4K, the fact it's easy to use, cheap, small and light will make it appeal to a beginner. While it may not have all the features of a mirrorless camera, we can't help but think all the thrills and frills are sometimes a bit much if you're just starting out, and at this price, nothing is quite as good. Number 2. Canon EOS Rebel SL3 Digital SLR Camera. There are a few Canon cameras that are cheaper than the Canon EOS Rebel SL3, known as the 250D in Europe, but they lack its features and build quality. You don't have to pay that much extra to have features such as a vari-angle touchscreen, a 24.3-megapixel sensor with Canon's Dual Pixel CMOS technology which makes the autofocus in live mode really fast, just like a mirrorless cameras, and guided screen options to help you learn. It's also capable of 4K video, so if you think you might want to have a go at filmmaking, this may be better for you than the Nikon D3500. Having used Canon's cheapest DSLRs, Canon, we think the EOS Rebel SL3 250D is definitely worth the extra. Number 3. Canon EOS 90D DSLR Camera. We spent some time testing the Canon EOS 90D, and we are convinced this is the best Canon camera. Opens a new tab for enthusiasts. It arrived with groundbreaking specs that no other camera in this category can match, and packs in an amazing 32.5 million pixels, the highest yet for an APS-C camera, though you shouldn't expect to see any obvious and instant benefit in image quality. It all depends on the lenses, and the 18 to 135mm kit lens supplied for us to use is not one of Canon's best. Instead, revel in this camera's 10 fps continuous shooting capability and its uncropped 4K video capture, a consumer-level Canon that, finally, doesn't reduce the angle of view for 4K video. The extra megapixels do dent the EOS 90D's high ISO low light performance, but this camera has so many capabilities and so much potential. We think it's a dazzlingly good all-rounder for enthusiasts who want to try every facet of photography. What's more, with its flip-out screen and Dual Pixel CMOS, it's just like using a mirrorless camera in live view mode. Number 4. Nikon D7500dx Format DSLR Camera. Despite being released 4 years ago, we still think the Nikon D7500 deserves recognition as one of the best DSLRs for enthusiasts, even now. It's a decent all-rounder and Nikon's equivalent to the Canon EOS 90D. It offers a slightly faster continuous burst shooting speed at 8 fps, though lacks the resolution of the 90D. The 51-point autofocus system is reliable, and it has the ability to record 4K video. It has a tilting rear screen rather than the fully articulated design on the EOS 90D and relies on slower contrast AF in live view mode, but if you do most of your shooting through the viewfinder, these will be small points. Nikon fans who like sports photography might also want to take a look at the Nikon D500. Opens a new tab, but this is a much more expensive camera, and it's growing harder to find. DSLR fans should know that there are still great DSLRs around, and our time with the D7500 has convinced us that this is one of them. Number 5. Canon EOS 6D Mark II DSLR camera. The Canon EOS 6D Mark II has been out for a while now, and while its specifications are hardly cutting edge, this is still a powerful and versatile DSLR for photographers taking their first steps in full-frame photography. Most important of all, we think it's versatile, extremely well designed and straightforward to use. The 26-megapixel sensor is good rather than great, but it does have Canon's Dual Pixel CMOS AF system, so the live view autofocus is very fast and effective. The 45-point viewfinder AF system is pretty good too, although the focus points are all clustered towards the center of the screen. The EOS 6D Mark II can capture images at 6.5 fps in burst mode and has extremely useful vari-angle touchscreen display. It has been upstaged somewhat by the newer Canon EOS RP and Canon's other mirrorless models, but it's a solid buy that's cheaper than the Nikon D780. Below